Thank you for
Hi.
coming. I'm really excited to introduce you to Becky Whitaker, our new Selling Savvy associate. Hi, Becky.
Hi.
Do you want to tell us a bit about your background in the industry and what your kind of experience is?
Yeah, of course. Wow. I think I've always been just about all of my adult life in some sort of tourism and hospitality kind of role. I even started out, I was talking about it today actually, as a waitress in a local village hotel earning £1.20 an hour.
Oh my gosh.
I know, that shows how old I am, doesn't it? And then I even did like all of my kind of like higher education in tourism. So like I did a BTEC in it, I did a tourism management degree in Leeds. And I spent time at like Visit Britain in London for, I work in their sales and marketing department. And then 11 years with Marriott Hotels. And I kind of, it's a funny story actually, because I always said, people asked me after I did my degree, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I don't care what I do, but I don't want to work in hotels. I was categoric. I'm not going to work in hotels. Like, okay,
That's so funny.
fine, Becky.
Why you felt like that?
I don't know. And then I remember my mum and dad went on this cruise for about a month. And I got this job at Marriott, and it was doing reservations. And my mum was like, oh, that's great. You've got this job. I said, yeah, I won't be there when you get back. And I was there for 11 years.
You just loved it.
Yeah, I did. So I had this complete, I think, misrepresentation, or whatever the word is, misconception, that's the word, of hotels. And I kind of, I stuck around. I started out in reservations, moved to groups. Then I was revenue supervisor, sales team manager. So I managed the conference team. And then they clustered everything, like hotels like to cluster, uncluster, etc. all of the time. And they started opening up these bigger conference offices. And I opened up the Yorkshire cluster reactive sales office, which I absolutely loved doing. And
why did you love it so much?
I love developing people and changing and coming up with ideas to get results. So I'm a real kind of results, goal-orientated person. I absolutely love to kind of like see, right, we need to be here, we need to do this. And I love kind of like coming up with ways that we can get to that goal. And I just used to love that, we did really, really well. We used to always achieve our conversions and what used to be then our BDRCs, and that kind of thing. So much so that I ended up certifying to be one of the Marriott trainers, and I did some of the training around the country as well. So that's where I got the kind of training bug from. Yeah.
Seeing the teams develop and individuals growing a passion for the industry and for clients and a bit of a sales hunger is where the kind of love is, isn't it?
Definitely. So I loved doing that, and I even wrote like some of the SOPs for Marriott nationally for that. And then I did go on and do a proactive sales role, because Marriott being Marriott then sort of super clustered everything, and it went like somewhere that was just way too far away for me. And I did I was director of sales for Leeds Marriott for a couple of years. And then I went on to Leeds Bradford Airport. So I've done all sorts in kind of tourism and hospitality before, sadly, I was made redundant from there, and I set up on my own. So, but if I don't think if I'd have had the push, I would have had the guts to do it. So I'm really pleased that I've never looked back. So
yeah. And what do you love about the kind of event and hospitality industry as a whole?
I think I've said this to you before. I think what's not to love about an industry where your job is to make people smile and to create special memories. I mean, that is the industry, isn't it? It's such a exciting industry. And I think also you can see an end result. And in some sort of industries, sectors, it's difficult to see that end result, but you've got, it accumulates, doesn't it, in a fab event or a fab stay or whatever. And you can measure that, and just to see people's happy faces and that something's done well, that's what I love, really.
Yeah, definitely. It's you're right, it's quite rare to kind of have like a first contact with a client right through to the end stage in any industry. So we're lucky at every part of it. Amazing. So Now for the tricky question. If you can describe yourself in 3 words, what would you say? This really means that we get to know.
Oh, this is mean. This
I
question,
know.
I
Sorry.
Okay. Well, I think I have to say creative, because I'm a real ideas person. Even if it's not something that either comes to fruition or is the right idea, I literally just love sort of throwing ideas at stuff and trying different things. I don't like to kind of like do the same thing all the time. I like to think, how can this be changed up to get a better result? And, you know, how can we make that look better or feel better or anything like that? So creative, definitely.
Sales is, and the events industry as a whole, is a really creative industry, isn't it?
It is.
And sales isn't the kind of job that you would think would be creative, but you have to be thinking outside the box, thinking differently all the time.
No, definitely. And I'm not saying I'm like design creative. So don't ask me to design or draw something. I'm not that kind of creative. But definitely kind of ideas and, like, you know, brainstorming and throwing ideas out there. I love doing all of that. I have to say honest as well, I think. And my mum would say, yeah, you're too honest for your own good.
Oh, really?
Because she probably thinks I'm too blunt, but I like to think that I'm subtle when I do it. But if somebody asks me about something and I don't agree or I don't believe it's right for them, then I will say something. But I think that's a good thing, to be honest. I think, you know, you can learn a lot more and you get a lot more out of things if people are honest with you. And then also, you know where you are with people, so you know that I'm not kind of like spinning you a yarn. Yeah,
and it's kind of turns you into I always use a phrase, a moral salesperson.
Yes,
with clients and colleagues alike, really.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's a really kind of, it is a good trait to have. It's just a shame not everybody is the same, but I think people really value honesty. I mean, obviously you've got to be careful and make sure it's still professional. But I do think people value that.
In this kind of time that we're in, I mean, especially the current climate, those relationships between sales representatives and clients is going to be more useful than ever.
Definitely.
A lot of that is built on honest conversations.
Completely, absolutely. And then I suppose if I've got to have a third, for want of a better word, dedicated.
Oh, that's a great word.
Thank you. I think dedicated, loyal, that kind of thing. Because, well, a lot of my clients say to me that I always treat their business as if it's my own. Because, well, I guess I just want to do the best for everybody, which sometimes means me probably going above and beyond a bit too much, and maybe I need to find more time for myself. But if I say I'm going to do something, I'll do it with kind of bells on, if that makes sense, and I'll really kind of like dedicate myself to it. Yeah,
definitely. That's a really nice trait to have, and something that I kind of believe in as well, going above and beyond. But I can see what you mean, that sometimes you go a bit too far. And then you think, I spent a lot of time on this.
Yeah, I need to get paid for some of this.
yeah. Oh my gosh, story of my life. I should probably charge for that.
Yeah.
So I'm obviously so excited to be working with you and to have you join Selling Savvy. Do you want to tell me a bit about kind of what you're excited about, what your thoughts are?
I'm super excited, actually. I can't believe, like, before lockdown, me and you didn't even know each other.
I can't believe it either.
It's mad. So it's been well, obviously it's not been
a whirlwind,
but it's been a positive experience for me, lockdown, because I've met loads of new people who are fantastic, like yourself, and like Fem and Amanda as well. And it's just so nice to be working with people that I've got a similar mindset to me and have a similar ethos when it comes to sales and that kind of thing. I mean, when I started my own business 8 years ago, some of the stuff that I have done is converting inquiries into sales courses myself. But I think the Selling Savvy concept is brilliant. I'm just really mad that I didn't think of it myself, because I don't need to now, because I can just come on board with you.
Together. We've got a team to do it now.
Exactly. I love the concept, you know, like the little bite-sized sessions. So it's kind of really good, accessible to people that can't take too much time out of the office. And I really love like the accountability sessions and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to be working with like-minded people and to, you know, to train that. Really, really am.
Yeah. Oh, well, thanks, Becky. Do you want to go through the kind of the counties that you are covering?
Yeah, if I can remember. So I'm based in Leeds. So obviously West Yorkshire, North Yorkshire, and then sort of out towards Greater Manchester and Merseyside. And what was the other one? Oh, Lancashire, of course. Yeah, Lancashire. So any of those kind of like areas I can go to.
Amazing. So soon we will be having a launch in up north. Becky will be running and I'll be coming along too as well. And hopefully we'll see lots of new people there. If anybody's interested in attending, do you want to give your email address, Becky?
Yes, so it's becky@sellingsavvy.co.uk.
Amazing. And I will pop the opt-in to our emails in the comments. And if anybody wants to be the first to hear about the launch when Boris says that we're allowed to do it, then then pop your email address in there.
Yeah, no, I can't. I really genuinely can't wait. So yeah.
Thanks, Becky.
Thank you.
Well. Thank you. See you soon.
Bye.